Welcome back. The Canadian National Institute for the Blind celebrating 100 years of service this year. We have Les Nolan joining us from the CNIB. It's great to have you back on the show, Les.
Thank you.
Yes. You right now, without wearing your e-goggles, because I know you have e-vision, which is fantastic. It gives you a lot more vision than you have, but right now you have about 3%.
About
is that right?
3%, yeah.
How much did the e-vision give you?
Well, from a distance, you know, with the e-sight glasses, when I tested them about 3 years ago, the best they could correct my vision was about 300 or something like that.
Okay, so it makes a difference to your world.
It does make a difference. It gives me about double what I would have or more.
Okay, that's awesome. So let's talk a little bit about the 100-year anniversary. 100 years, interesting start for the CNIB. Tell me about that.
Well, CNIB started with a guy named Edwin Baker, who was one of the founders. He was wounded during World War I. He was a colonel for the Canadian Army, and when he was wounded in 1915, he went to St. Dunstan's School in England, and there he learned how to adjust to his vision loss. He learned how to do things, how to be independent and things like that. So when he came to Canada, he saw that there was a lack of services for the blind, and so he, with 6 other people, founded the CNIB in 1918.
And there have been huge strides in the last 100 years. We have some archive photos that we're going to show. Maybe you can just sort of briefly tell us a little bit about what those are about.
There's one picture of Edwin Baker with a group of other wounded veterans in St. Dunstan's School in England. And so that would have been taken in England itself, or been around the 1916 mark, somewhere around there. I'm not sure about that.
All right, we can move over to the next one. And is this like an early Braille system?
Yeah, so what it is, this is an early Braille writer, and you'll see there's 6 keys on it, and then there's a spacer in the middle, and each one of those keys is a raised dot. So as you press each key, it raises the dot. So, and then it's a combination of dots where you learn to read and write Braille.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this one is a woman sitting across from a man.
So that would be Sherman Swift.
Yeah.
He was the first gentleman to graduate, as the first blind man to graduate from university with, I think, a degree in language studies, and that would have been about 1907, and he was the librarian for what became the CNIB library.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have a blind woman holding up some cassette tapes. This was early.
Yeah, so the early form of the library would have been in record form, but they found that a lot of them were getting damaged during shipment and things like that, and had to have a large phonograph. And then when they invented the cassette player, then they weren't damaged, and they were able to now have their talking books on cassette.
Fantastic. And then moving into the what you brought with you today,
the
Express Coast.
So what happens is when CNIB's library, you would have your disc in a package like this. It would get shipped with the name of the book and then the address and everything on it. And then when they're done reading the book, because it was all shipped postage free, and then when they were done the book, they would just switch it backwards, and so the address to the CNIB library was on the back, and so it gets sent back again.
So it's a full book on there.
Yeah, some of these would hold a full book, or depending on the length of the book. In fact, when they made the book Gone with the Wind, when it was written in Braille, they say that when you read, by the time you finished reading Gone with the Wind, your fingers had traveled 8.5 miles.
Is that right?
Yes.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit more about some of the things going on. There's a friends and family raffle draw you want to talk about. That's April 16th.
Yeah, what that is the first prize is a trip for 2 for anywhere that scheduled flight for WestJet. The second prize is a iPad, 32 megabyte, I believe, or gigabyte, I should say. And then the third prize is a $200 gift card.
Okay, where can people buy those raffle tickets?
I have them at the office, and there are some volunteers as well around the community that would have them as well. Yeah.
CNIB, of course, is located on Lansdowne. Is that correct, across from Save-On?
No, it's actually on the St. Paul Street.
St. Paul,
And
okay.
it's basically in the same building as Life Labs. That's
I totally got that
building that's in behind the police station.
Yeah, the big gray
four-story
one.
medical building.
Yeah, of course. Okay, good. And you also wanted to mention that the CNIB in Campbell since 1990 and the centennial event at Desert Gardens coming up in March.
Right, yeah.
Is that a social event?
Yeah, so what it is, it's a public event where everybody can come, and I encourage the doctors to come down. And so we're going to have a service day there where there will be technologies, they're accessible technologies. There will be low vision equipment, and then we're also going to have, I'm going to have a putter set up so people have simulator glasses to simulate different levels of vision, so people can come and try and putt with that. And
Good,
there'll
why
be a few
not?
different activities. Of course, there'll be a centennial cake, and there'll be people there to give information. And if anybody's interested in more in the history of CNIB, we can inform them there. Yeah.
And people are welcome to come down anytime to the office on St. Paul and learn more.
That's correct.
Fantastic. I'm glad you approached me on this. It's good to know 100 years in Canada is fantastic. We're out of time. How quickly did that go? I know, it always does. Les, thank you for being here.
You're very welcome.
Much appreciated.
Thank you very much.
If you would like to learn more, information's on the screen along with Les's email address that he is so boldly putting on the screen for us as well. If you would like more information, you can certainly contact him. Again, the office, 546 St. Paul. We're back after a quick break. Stay with us.